Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. I'm Greg Greenberg, here with Jim Cramer. Jim, a lot of people worried about the Fed's inflation so-called comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week we got a report out from Merrill Lynch about Agflation. Does Agflation threaten you? Do you feel scared of Agflation?
Well, there's two forms of inflation. There's Chinese inflation and there's mandated by presidential bid inflation. A lot of people feel like that under the President Bush, the economy's been great, which is pretty true. The stock market's been great. But most recently, for reasons that I think have to do with Republicans staying in the White House, much less than energy independence, and that's my cynicism speaking, there's been a push on ethanol, which has driven up dramatically a very important raw good in the panoply of things that the Fed looks at. So this is very damning to me. I think that the Fed, instead of looking at the price of housing and looking at the price of and looking at consumer spend, is spending much more time looking at inflation. And inflation is the grain complex. And so it's not going to go down because it's been mandated by the president to go up.
You know what they can look at? They can look at the prices of the chicken, egg, dairy manufacturers, Pilgrim's Pride, Tyson, up about 40 and 50% over the last 6 months.
Yeah, they've also allowed.
One
of the things that is just remarkable about the lack of antitrust in this country is they've allowed these companies to get together. There used to be some vicious price competition in some of these markets. It's all been kind of wiped away by mergers. I would tell people if they want to learn about this, they should go to the Buffalo Wild Wings Conference Call, BWLD, where the excellent management there talks directly about the cost of wings, which is something that if the Fed looked at, they'd recognize, we got a bit of a problem.
Final question. Are we going to start seeing a glut of these things hit the market? Dean Foods call said we're going to see a wall of milk in the second half because prices have run up.
I was surprised that Dean Foods paid. I felt that we were in good shape when Dean Foods did that big special dividend. I thought that they had better forecasting. I still believe in Dean Foods, but I don't know. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of corn planting. I'm still a big believer in the ag complex because both the Democrats and Republicans, the ag complex and the defense complex, this would be a good piece for me to do for real money. The ag complex and the defense complex are both supported by the Democrats, which makes it so that I feel like the inflation there is going to continue. Now, the inflation in defense doesn't really matter to us, but the inflation in ag matters tremendously.
Agflation matters. Jim Cramer, Greg Greenberg, Wall Street Confidential.